People, one, to vote, to make sure you're able to vote, and then also registering for our mailing list so that people can be aware of what's going on. One of the things that's extremely important about this particular election is there has been very good momentum created through efforts by Muslims and those who support the people of Gaza to start a campaign of uncommitted votes in the primary. That has gained a lot of momentum that is starting to force politicians to listen to the demands of the people. And here in Illinois, there's an effort, which has the largest Muslim population in the entire country, to get 200,000 blank votes in the Democratic primary to let people know that, to let politicians know that the issue of Gaza is of extreme importance because we are people who stand for justice. There is more information, and you can check to see if you're registered to vote or to get more information, but please, this is the one small way that we can try to influence the country that is number one supporting the crimes that are happening in Palestine. So if we don't even do that little bit, how can we, face God on the day of judgment that we couldn't even do that little bit. So I do encourage everybody to try to take part, and if you need more information, it's out in the foyer. We do have our volunteers standing by. Thank you.
Brothers and sisters, I would now like to take a moment to properly introduce our guest alim. Hujjatul Islam, Dr. Syed Hadi Yasin, is no doubt an Islamic scholar, but he also has a doctoral degree in psychology, and he is also a certified professional coach. In 1996, he began his formal Islamic education in Mashhad in the Islamic seminary in Iran, and during his seminary program, he attained 2 bachelor's degrees, one in Quranic sciences and tradition, and the other in the fundamentals of Islamic jurisprudence. In 2009, he undertook a master's program in child development. He is the founder of Hadi Life Coaching, which provides services for clients nationwide and internationally since 2013, focusing on children, parenting, and relationships. Currently, his service autistic children. Dr. Yasin is also a founder of Enlight Academy, the first Montessori Shia school in the Bay Area in California. As an Islamic scholar, Dr. Syed Hadi Yasin understands the complexities and challenges associated with minority groups living in the U.S. He has worked as a leader and a motivational speaker in many diverse environments across cultural backgrounds in hopes of finding solutions for some of the rising issues among such communities. Please join me in welcoming Hujjatul Islam, Dr. Syed Hadi Yasin, to the member with the loud salawat. Allah.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. May Allah inshallah accept all our prayers, our amal, fastings, all our dedications inshallah, and make it dhakhir and reward for dunya wal akhirah. ببركة صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. Thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for having tawfiq to experience another day of month of Ramadan. Alhamdulillah, we ask Him not to make it the last Ramadan of our lives. We're following the topic of self-improvement through spiritual awareness. We're talking about how to customize this Ramadan to our own needs. How can we use this Ramadan to make some differences in our lives? How to use this opportunity to become a different person? And how to make it practical for ourselves. We mentioned the opportunities that this month, Ramadan, is providing for us, such as the opportunity of improving our willpower and determination, that we have the power to say no to certain things, to say yes to certain things. The opportunity of building or reconciliation or going back with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and fixing this issue from our sides with Him. Tonight, I'm going to talk about a very, very, very important and epidemic issue that we have it in our daily lives, which the tool of Ramadan, the time that we have in Ramadan, can be a great help in order to improve that. The majority of the topics I'm telling you is years of experience seeing in the clients, in the communities around the world. What are the issues from personal perspective, from marital perspective, from family perspective, parenting, children? And I'm trying to put together this momentum, this trend, that how to use these spiritual opportunities that we have in order to cope with those problems. What is the reason that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, this is Rajab, this is Sha'ban, this is Ramadan, this is Muharram, you have to come do, you have to do. Why? It's not just for the sake of my akhirah. We talk about it, remember? How many of you guys were here the first night? Raise your hand, I want to see. MashaAllah. It's not just for the sake of me building the akhirah, right? It's for me to build my dunya first according to orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I make my life here as successful as possible. Then because of that, I'll make my akhirah successful, right? So one of those opportunities that I have, or maybe I should start from the other side, one of the problems that we have, this is what I want to talk about it tonight, is the topic of issue in being organized and time management, which creates a lot of issues in our lives. When you look at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His creation, what He created, everything is organized based on the nadh, organization, to the point. It has specific time management. Nothing you never see that, for example, the sun comes from the west. One day rays from the west, right? Never. You never see the speed of something changes suddenly no. They know exactly, they make the calendar within 5 years, 10 years from now. Based on what? The movement of the nature. The season, the same thing. Everything. The creation of human beings the same way as well. Look at yourself. Look at human beings, right? How organized, how beautiful you are, your creation. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانِ أَحْسَنَ تَقْوِيمٍ, right? The best structure and composition you are made. Imagine if we had 3 eyes, one here, one over here. Imagine if our nose was here on the back of our head. When we're gonna, smell something, we'll be doing this. If we have, 8 fingers in our hand, right? How it would be? Everything is organized and according to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the best artist that you can find. When you look at the time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He has for us, look at Ramadan. We're talking about the scope of Ramadan, right? The time management that we have in Ramadan is one of the issues. I'm going to tell you why. I'm just building this, just introducing this topic. When it comes to Ramadan, there is a specific time. You're not going to start your Ramadan except you see the ru'yat of hilal. You see the hilal, you see the moon, right? When the moon sighting happens, then you start Ramadan. Guess what? You do not start your day of Ramadan except the adhan of Fajr starts, right? Can I eat 1 second after Salat al-Fajr? 1 second, it's not a big deal, right? Can I? No, you cannot, sweetheart. Your fasting of the day is going to be batil. How about 1 second before Maghrib? Can I eat? Can we eat? 1 second, what's the big deal? No, it's not. You're so organized in Ramadan. Everything is to the point, right? The entrance of Ramadan, the exit of Ramadan, everything is based on nazm and organization. And we're supposed to follow this. We're supposed to follow the time. You cannot pray until the azan is specifically happen, then you pray, right? But when you look at ourselves, we see that a lot of issue happens because of the problem in time management. The problem of not being organized in our lives. What is the problem with that? Why some people cannot be organized, cannot have time management, which can create a lot of relationship problems, right? Issue in individual issue. Where the problem is, when you look, you see that the biggest problem that cause not being organized, a time management issue, is having a life out of balance. When your life is out of balance, you will not be able to organize your life, not even your time. In this world, imagine you look at, we have a lot of successful people from the worldly perspective, right? Look at the most successful, businessman or woman. From the business perspective, they are very successful. But from the personal perspective, you see he divorces, he married 5 times. From that side, he has issue, right? It might be the best lawyer in the world, but when it comes to the family problems, he has issue. Personally, we might have a celebrities, oh my God, famous, but she has to take pills to be able to sleep at night. In one side, they might be successful. In the other side, they're not successful. When it comes to life of Ahlul Bayt, as a role model examples for us, they are indeed successful from all aspects in life. When it comes to a spiritual perspective, he is Zaynul Abidin, the adornment of all worshipper. He is Aba Abdullah, the father of Abdullah, right? When it comes to Amir al-Mu'mineen, the commander of all faithful, from a spiritual perspective, they are the best, the head of everyone, right? But when it comes to the social aspects, they're also the best. When it comes to their personal life, Amir al-Mu'mineen, just because he's the Amir al-Mu'mineen, he doesn't forget his taking care of his children or his marriage. He can go to Azazah or somebody here says, you know what, sweetheart, I'm so busy, that this war and this problem and that problem, I'm the judge as well, I'm the society, don't expect me to be at home. He's way more busier than all of us, right? But we see that he knows how to balance his life so he can take care of every single aspect of his life. It is such a zulm, an oppression to Ahlul Bayt, that you pick one section of their life. It says, I want to look at Imam al-Hussein only from Karbala, when he entered Karbala until he left and became Shaheed. No, you should see Imam al-Hussein from the beginning to the end. One of the problems that sometimes, talked about my colleague as well on this minbar, we should not just introduce Ahlul Bayt from the spiritual perspective. They are very good in Salat, mashallah, in fasting, Ramadan, everything was great. How about their personal life? What about the business? From the wealth perspective, Ahlul Bayt, they are very wealthy. Amir al-Mu'mineen, he had a business. They had a system, otherwise they could not help other people, right? We don't talk about this. Yeah, Imam al-Hussein, unfortunately in Karbala, he became Shaheed. So who is Imam al-Hussein? That 72 dedicated people, they sacrificed their life for the sake of him. He should have a lifestyle, right? Who is Amir al-Mu'mineen? What did he do from the personal perspective, from the marital perspective, from the children perspective? Look at Sayyidah Fatima salamullah alayha. And all of them. Spiritual perspective, we all know about this. They are the best member of their society. Everybody come to them for help. She's the best daughter. What do you call her? What did Rasulullah call her? Ummi Abiha. No one can reach that level. She's such a great daughter that she became like a mother for her father. When it comes to be a wife, when we say complete example, insan kamil means this. When it comes to being a wife, who is she? Rasulullah, he looks at Amir al-Mu'mineen and says, how is your wife? The best man on the earth, in the universe, he's asking the second best in the universe, right? About the best of all women, khairun nisa al-alamin. Who is Zahra? How is Zahra? What kind of wife is she? You know what did he say? I call this the doctrine of marriage. He said, ni'mal aun ala ta'atillah. The best of all supporters to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And on the other side, Amir The personal life. Their children, parenting. Look at the result. Hassanain and Zainabain, right? How is it even possible? Social aspects, the best. Individual aspects, the best. Society aspects, the best. As a member of society, the best. As a children, as parents. So it is possible. Yes? That's what we have in front of us, Ahlul Bayt, as the mirror. The key question here, how they were able to create this balance in their life. That's what we're going to talk about it. Because if I don't have balance in my life, let me tell you the problems. It's going to hit and cause problem with my self-esteem. Because I'll fall behind from a lot of things. I might be a good businessman. I might be a good student, but at home I have a lot of problems. I have a lot of undone project unfinished, right? All of us, we experience this. The students, you know what I mean, right? Procrastination, right? Being stressed over, oh my God, I have to submit my essay and it's too late, and your mom is yelling at you, oh my God, you didn't do it, you're stressed, I'm fall behind my AP score, you know, all this thing. From the business perspective, you have a project, you don't know what to do, you're stressed about your business, your work, corporation, and then you bring the stress home. What causes problem? Self-esteem issue, it causes problem in the interrelationship, right? Cause problem with other people around you. It cause trouble with your society, the society that you have. It creates a lot of issue around you that, you know, job, professional way. It causes a lot of issue. As a result of this, it's going to cause trouble in what? My spirituality. Do you think when my life is so stressful, I can sit down in front of Qibla and says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, dua iftitah, dua so and so, and dua kumail? I'm so stressed. Do you think I'm going to raise my hand and says, Rabbana atina for what? I've finished my salat, I'm going to fight with my wife. I have to come back from school, guess what? I'm so stressed. As a result of this, you know what I'm talking about this? Because when deen comes as the lifestyle, what is deen? What are the recommendations of deen? The way that can help me to create a better lifestyle. So I'm expecting the deen to help me to create a good lifestyle, right? Yes or no? Sister, yes? Sisters, they don't agree with me. Yes? Alhamdulillah. We said we have to make it, mutual, inshallah. So therefore, I have Ahlul Bayt in front of me. I have the recommendations in front of me. I have Ramadan so organized in front of me. Even when it comes to location, look at this, how beautiful is our deen. What did we say? We said we have to make life deen practical. When it comes to location, you recite 2 rakat salat inside masjid. Like imagine this is the door of masjid, right? 2 rakat salat inside the masjid, you have more thawab. Outside the masjid, less thawab. Right? 2 rakat salat in Masjid al-Nabi has different salat. In Masjid al-Haram, different thawab, right? And reward. Such an organized life and deen that we have. So if there is any issue and pitfall, it's not because of the religion, it's because of what? The one who is following it. What I'm talking about, if imagine the Creator sent a manual who said if you follow this manual, you're going to be successful. Physical perspective, psychological perspective, spiritual perspective, family-wise, marriage, parenting, everything. This is created by, I don't want to say the brand, we can say it, right? Okay, so it came with a manual, right? Based on what? The Creator said, if you keep this phone this way or that way and charge it this way, keep it away from the water and humidity, blah, 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 it's going to extend the life of this cell phone, correct? Yes or no? Yes. This is not a strong yes. Yes or no? Yes. Ahsant. So what if I say, well, who said that? This manual? Pfft, I don't want to observe it. I don't want to follow. I have the free will, right? But is it wise? Why not? The Creator is saying that this is what you're supposed to do. Which is a device. The Creator might make a mistake. But what about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He says, sweetheart, if you want to be successful in these aspects, you need to follow the manual that I'm sending to you. This is Quran in front of you. This is a hadith in front of you. And guess what? Because you're so doubtful, I'm sending the Ahlul Bayt in front of you to see them. Now you have example in front of you to follow. So, let's make it practical now. Let's go to the topic. It was all introduction. Inshallah, we're here until Sahar tonight to finish it. Those who are tired, they want me to finish it soon. Let's say loud salawat. MashaAllah. Ahsan. Everybody recite the salawat. MashaAllah. If you want me to continue and finish, recite louder salawat. Our lives is divided into 4 different sections. 4 different sections. It's very practical. I want you to pay attention. Maybe it's one of those unique times that you hear about this structure. One aspect is individual aspects. Myself and individual aspects of myself that I have to pay attention. Second is the emotional, is the relationship with other people, with marriage, parenting, children, those aspects. The third aspect is the society, my social interactions, is job, income, working, school, everything regarding that. And the other one, which is the most important one, is the spiritual aspects. How many there are? 4. Can you name it after me? 1? We're not going to move forward. First, self, individual aspect. Second, someone here, someone there, someone over there. All together. The second, family, emotional aspects, right? The third, societal, the job and everything. And the last one, the most important one. Usually, can you find any other category? Usually we have life out of balance in one of these categories, right? Either I'm spending too much time at job that is keeping me away from spending other time on other things, or I'm spending too much time with family sometimes. Some people too much on spirituality out of balance. I'll give you some examples. And some people with the society. When it comes to the friends, his wife just got married. Every single thing I'm saying, I have example for my clients, okay? He's spending too much time with his friends outside because he didn't notice he got married and now he has a wife at home. He's still that single guy. He couldn't make this transition that my wife is home alone. If you are not ready to let your friends go and spend time with your wife, why did you get married then? Simple as this. Usually, statistics shows that life is out of balance in social aspects, which is about the job and everything, and individual aspects. Okay? This usually happens. There's a tradition, manqul, narrated from Imam al-Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam. He went to his father, Amir al-Mu'minin, says, "Oh father, you were spending more time with my grandfather. You were living with them. You're the stepson of Rasulullah. So tell me about his personal life." That's amazing. We have these traditions, we don't use these traditions. Tell me about his personal life. How was he daily and everything? He said Imam al said, he divided his time, his daily time in different sections. One section for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in parentheses, when it was the time for ibadah, he was not thinking about family. He was not thinking about job. He was not thinking about anything else. It was purely dedicated. If I can pull out the arrow from the foot of Amir al-Mu'minin is what? Because he's 100% dedicated to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's not sitting down in front of Qibla, oh my God, tomorrow when I'm going to do my essay. Right? Or while I'm eating, I'm listening to the news as well. What happened in Turkey or over there? Everything is organized. One section for Allah. One section he had for family. One section he had for what? For himself. It's very important. To find things that he has to do. Quran said, "Inna khalaqna kulla shay'in biqadar." Everything is specifically created and made according to its own structure and size that we should follow. So he has time. I need to describe certain terminology now. When we say life in general, what does it mean, the life? What is life? Who do you call alive? Just someone who's walking on the earth? No. It can be the life of human beings, which we're the best of all creatures, to be shared with the definition of life of other animals, right? It's not possible. It's not good. Life is the structure and movement towards a specific goal and salvation. We're alive to reach a goal. Yes? To move forward. If I'm not progressing, if I'm not moving forward, what kind of life are you talking about? So I'm stepping towards this. مَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ إِلَّا يعبدون. For the sake of ibadah. Many mufassirin says ليعبدون here means for ma'rifah. I am living to get more information, knowledge, ma'rifah, to get to ibadah, to get to highest level. I need to grow. Remember these examples? Imagine I'm the best student in the 2nd grade for 5 years. Do you call me the best student? No, you failed. But you were supposed to be in the 10th grade now. That improvement, that going to the next level. What is job? I need to define this before I says I'm going to end up with how we need to balance our life now, right? What is job? لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. It's all about the effort you put, and it's about the achievement that you have in your life. According to Ahlul Bayt, job and social interactions are very, very important. Opposite of what some people think about, Ahlul Bayt is like get away from dunya, zuhd and taqwa, go to masjid. No, everything in order, right? Try to be the best. In Jummah prayer today, I said that. Try to be the best of all in your job, in your major. Don't set it to be, I just want to have an okay job and then pay for my family. No, hit the sky. In whatever major you're studying, try to be the best in that major, but be attached to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise, it's not worth it all. Be the one who your name is Muhammad, Fatima, Zahra, Ali, whatever Ahmad it is, right? You be the best in the company. It says, oh my God, who is he? Who is she? Yes, it is very, very important, but the goal of working is not working. That's the problem that makes the life out of balance. I'm not working to work. I'm working to have a mean and a tool in order to create a peaceful life for myself. If you're working too much and your life is out of balance at work, man or woman, doesn't matter, guess what's going to happen? You are working for your work. The work is not a mean for you. You're just making some corporation bigger and fatter, and you're hurting yourself indeed. We all know, oh my God, I have to pay bills, I have to do this, I have to do that. No. And everything should rotate around Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the background we have to understand. If I'm working, my job, it's important, but it should be according to what? The spirituality. It helps me with that. A mother who works at home a lot or works outside a lot, and she's repressing or suppressing her own desires and feelings and needs, and she keeps tolerating it, it's one of those examples. One day it's going to explode and it says, I'm done, I can't do it anymore. That's the moment everybody says, oh my God, what's happening? Why are you acting this way? Because you were neglecting your needs, because the life was out of balance. Doesn't matter you love your kids a lot, you need time for yourself. Your wife needs time for herself, individually, away from the family, away from you and everybody else. And don't feel guilty. A husband who his idea is all about working, business from this startup to that one to this one to make a lot of money, right? Well, guess what? Now you want to come home? You want to have a relaxed life based on what? Every single of this, I have examples in front of me. He made $1 million company, $100 million company. I have a client, Shia, mashallah. 100 million, 200. He didn't sell it for 100 million, he says 200 million. Oh, guess what? What's the cost of that? Talk to his wife. Your life is out of balance, sweetheart. You have a lot of troubles here. This is not a success. In one side, you neglected the other one. Then do you think your spirituality? I mean, I don't have time to come to masjid, right? Because of the corporation, a lot of meeting and so and so. When he becomes bankrupt, then what? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad masjid. Then imagine children are being raised in the environment. So if my parents have a lot of important things to do, yeah, so that's important. So now I come here when I have time, when I'm bankrupt. If you are studying too much, so much, it's a new thing I'm saying. If you're so dedicated to your school and you do not have time to come to masjid, you're out of balance. Doesn't matter, oh my God, I'm going to be successful for the sake of Allah. If you cannot spend time with your mom and dad at home, you're not practicing it, you know what's the problem? You're growing up with this lifestyle. And then you get married, you're used to that lifestyle. You want to spend time with your husband or with your wife? Guess what? Other things outside is more important. Education. You see how many moms and dads, they request, please come downstairs and spend some time with us. Oh, I'm doing my homework. Oh, my essay. Oh, my friends. Which half of the time you play video game and talking to friends, right? I mean, not. But if I can practice to make my life out of this situation and make it in balance, it becomes my style. I become used to it. It becomes habit, right? So let me give some of the signs of a life out of balance. Look at yourself. If you have some of these things, maybe your life is out of balance. One of them is you're always tired. Physically, emotionally, psychologically, brain-wise, you're always tired. You don't have energy. You cannot spend time for things that you like to do. You don't have time. You want to spend time with family. You want to go out. You don't have time. Another thing is unwillingness towards spending time for yourself, towards life, towards your job, hopelessness, pessimism. You might be very successful on one side, by the way. You might be super successful. You might be the best students ever. And by the way, don't stop studying from tomorrow. Go to mom and dad says, Maulana says, don't stop. We said life in balance. Don't sacrifice family, spirituality on top. Yourself. There was a lady who became number 1 in med school. And then she didn't get married. This opportunity, that opportunity, this one. I'm going to study. I'm going to be professional. Guess what? She became the best doctor ever. Now she wanted to get married. Guess what? She's old. There's not that much opportunity. And now she has psychological problems. I'm all alone. I don't want to come home being alone. Do you see? Life out of balance will happen. It makes one aspect's life so important. I have some brothers, very interesting, some examples, very rarely, but he's so much into dua and book and ibadat and everything. Everywhere he goes, families are sitting and he's praying something. Dua. He says, brother, it's good, mashallah, but not to this level. Family are waiting. Your children need to go out with you. They're going to have fun with you, right? This unwillingness toward doing things, hopelessness, not being satisfied in life, health problem, dodging responsibilities, and being frustrated. Your life is out of balance. You're tired. Now mom, dad, wife, husband, they ask you to spend time with them. You can't, and you start fighting. Why don't you understand that I'm working? I'm doing it for you. Oh, we don't want it for us. Please, change it. When the life is out of balance, I don't know what to do with it. So, is that clear now, the importance, significance of this topic? Yes or no? Yes. Is it important from a spiritual perspective? Is that clear why it's so important? Yes? Yes. That yes was not strong enough. Yes? Yes. Ahsan, mashallah. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Very briefly, what should I do now? Remember what I said all these nights. I'm saying Ramadan is the time to change. Yes? It's the time that I need to do something. You know, I respect the brothers and sisters who convert, or better to say, to revert to Islam. You know why? Why I respect them so much? Because when they found the truth, they made that big decision. The problems in front of them doesn't stop them from making that decision. I have examples. Their family left them. I had an example. The sister said, my family was against it. Like, I'm going to be in trouble if they know that I'm Muslim. So she's the older one. She said, when I drive home with my parents, when I want to go out, I put hijab in garage and then go out, so not in the house, so they don't notice it. When I come home, I take it off in the garage, so I go home and they don't know. To that extent, if they know that I'm in big trouble. What makes you make this big, courageous decision for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Some big changes. Do we do that? Or we're used to this old habit style that we have? How I can make a decision to make my life to be in balance? Number one, have a schedule for yourself. If it's work, remember those few sections: work, social, spiritual, individual, and time for yourself. You need time for yourself as well. Have a schedule. That doesn't mean equal time. That doesn't mean you start from tomorrow, work 1 hour because you spend 1 hour for yourself. Equality, no. That means have balance in work. Don't go, if your work is the thing that you work so much time, so many hours that you don't have for other time, for other things, that is out of balance. You need to literally decrease the hours. You know one of the good things about if you're your own boss, you're not part of the corporation, because you can make that happen. The corporation doesn't make a decision for you. When to come, how to come, what to do, and so, right? So schedule is very important. Time management is important. Second, set your priorities. What is the most important thing? I had a client, he said, I let my company go because my family were more important. Very big decision, but I knew I have to decide between my physical health and my family and my company. Very successful brother. This is, I let the company go. $1 million company. You see, this man is a man of decision. This woman is the woman of decision. So make the priority. Which one is important? Yes, you might be busy with certain things. Again, it might be social media. Oh my God, we're going to talk about it inshallah another night. Specifically about screen time, social media things, I promise, right? Some people says no, please, right? So it's between, I make decision between what and what. I'm always saying, remember the hadith I said today, says if you want to make any decision, think about the end of that. Is it a good ending or a bad ending, right? Then make a decision based on that. The other thing you can do, get used to a life without being busy and working and everything. Get used to having a peaceful, enjoyable life with family, with yourself. It's okay if you get off some days. It's okay if you spend time with, it's okay if you spend time with family without being worried about it. Literally train yourself to enjoy life. We're here not to be tortured. Maybe inshallah one day we go to Jannah, right? And in Jannah we're going to be happy. Who's going to go to Jannah? Let's get used to a life that we can enjoy it. Yes, life has a lot of tests, a lot of difficulties, a lot of ups and downs. Yes, we all know about this. At least, yes, let's get used to certain things and teach our children it is possible to live and enjoy life. To spend time with each other and enjoy life. Not as soon as we spend time with you. It's a family time. What's going to happen? A lot of argument, a lot of fight. Of course I'm not going to come anymore. Other physical things. Sleep well. On time. These are it's up to you to follow or not. This is a recommendation from experts. Sleep on time if you want to train yourself. I know social life starts after 12 a.m. for a lot of people, right? Younger ones. But you got to use to it. You got to do something. It's a source of fight for a lot of people. So eat well, sleep well, organize life based on that, right? Quality time with family. Quality time with family biologically, physically, mentally would benefit you when you spend time with family. Of course, not a family that is a fight all the time, right? So we have to create that environment that we can enjoy it. Be able to say no to certain things and some people. Just because your friends or your family or your job called you, says, can you come over to do this? No, it's a family time. I can't come. Why? I promised my family I have to go. Oh, come on, man, let's go out, bro. No, I have to go out with my family. I have to decide, am I going to be a follower or a leader? I decide to be a leader and a follower of the examples, Ahlul Bayt, right? And, set the goals towards what direction we're going and what we're going to do and so on and so forth. That's about the life. How can I make balance in job? What are the things I need to do? Number one, make sure your job is not against your belief system. If your job is against your belief system, Islam, change it. Period. Change it. If your major is something, I have some youth come to me and say, if I become this, it's going to be against this and this Islamic values. Let's change it. I remember 10 years ago in New York, I have the speech, Ramadan, a convert brother came to me. I still remember. He says, Maulana, and he had 5 or 8 children, mashallah, right? He just converted, financially was not doing well. And he said, all the doors of haram is open in front of me. Doors of haram work. And all the doors of halal income are closed to me. And I need money. You know what he said? He said, but I know it's a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's trying to test me. I'm going to make my decision. Nope, I'm going to be successful. I know He's Razzaq, He's going to provide. He says, Ahsant. What you learn in this few years being Muslim, it might be worth than 20, 30 years of some others. Make sure your job never ever go. If you have a job that you have to make a decision, when I say azan time, I can pray, inshallah I come home and pray. Someone told me, I'm going to come home and I pray Zohr and Asr and Maghrib and Isha all together. MashaAllah. Really? No. Someone says, Mona, at work, I feel like shy to pray in front of my colleagues. Can I sit down in my cubic and pray? I was like, this is so shameful, so don't do it. If you're doing something horrible, why are you doing it then? If it's something that you should be proud of, stand up and do it. I'm not saying to yell and shout out, right? But if you have to do it, you're on the right side. It's imagine someone is, a group of people are dying and sinking in the ocean. You know how to swim. They don't know how to swim. You're like, it doesn't look good if I swim and save my life. Let me die with them. So if you know how to swim, why are you going to waste on the society? Assimilation with what cost? Make sense? Second, go based on the skills that you know and work the thing that you know, that specific job, how to do it. Manage your time in work. Do not let it exceed more than what you're supposed to do. And work in a job that you love to do. Do not work in an area that you're forced, you don't like it. I have a lot of people that makes you mentally tired and agitated. You don't want to work. You just drag yourself to work. You hate that job, but you say, I have to do it. No, be brave to change that. Doesn't matter how old you are. Change that. Go work in an environment that you like to do it. Don't go based on, So, I guess the whole thing is this. To create this balance in life, I think we gave some good information here to think about. The most important thing now is I need to sit down and think and organize my life. If Ramadan has this gift for me, that I can make my life organized, right? And I'm following this order. You know why we say Salat is very important? Another lecture, inshallah, we'll talk about Salat. Why is it so important to pray? The time. In the sweetest part of your life, wake up, sweetheart, you pray. Zohr, Asr, it makes me organized. We'll talk about it, inshallah. I can find my life within Deen of Islam, in the life of Ahlul Bayt. We need to make it practical, and we need to make it happen, inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammadin wa ajjal farajhum. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج والعافية والناس ومد في عمره الشريف وزين الأرض بطول بقائه واجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره وشيعته يا رحمن يا رحيم ثبت قلوبنا على دينك بحق الحسين يا Allah, hasten the dhuhr of our Imam Mahdi. Let us and our generation be among the best of his followers. Do not let anyone from our generation إلى يوم القيامة to be against the path of Quran, Islam and Ahlul Bayt. Those who are under difficulties around the world, in Gaza, in Yemen, all those, بحق Muhammad wa ala Muhammad, provide opportunity for their freedom, safety and success. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, those who have hajat and requests, my respected brothers and sisters, give them khair hajat. Those who are not feeling well, cure them all at this moment. And those who passed away, send the thawab and reward from our gathering to their souls. Rahimallah man yaqra'u al-fatihata ma'as salawat. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعجل اللهم في فرج مولانا صاحب الزمان صلى الله عليه يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه يا حبيب الله. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين يعصوب الدين قائد غر المحجلين. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك وعلى 9 المعصومين من ذريتك. صلى الله عليك يا صاحب الزمان يا إمام الإنس والجان يا شريك القرآن. الأمان الأمان ورحمة الله وبركاته.